The Lunaverse by Rainbow Double Dash. Episode 20, Jackelop Valley Festival by Forborr. Chapter 6, Jacknapping. The next morning, Lyra woke early and went directly to her assigned stage. There were many musicians, and most of the festival attendees would be arriving today. She wanted to get a chance to practice in peace and quiet before the cocoa butter hit the fan, as Mama might say. When she finally finished and left the stage, to her surprise, Cheesecake was waiting for her. "Hi there," the older bear said. "Have you seen your friend? I've been hoping to talk to her. She left in such a hurry last night. I don't want her to get the wrong idea." "She's probably watching someone practice," said Lyra coldly. "I'm too busy to keep track of her for you." Cheesecake grinned slightly. "Hey now, don't you get the wrong idea neither. I'm not some kind of evil money grubber. I want that poor little guy to get better. I just care about this festival too. So what's wrong with trying to do both?" Lyra turned to her and sighed. "And what if it turns out he's better off out in the wild?" "He's not!" Cheesecake countered. "He was starving and dehydrated when raindrops brought him in, dying. We can save him and save this festival at the same time." "And if you're wrong?" Lyra asked. "Then at least we did our best. We're not just going to give up on him and turn him back out into the desert." Lyra shook her head. "You're best to save him or the festival?" "Both!" Cheesecake was starting to turn decidedly pink around the face. "Believe it or not, I understand. This festival is your life's work, isn't it? That's incredibly important to you. So important that it blinds you to who you might hurt. You're not the first person this happened to. Believe me." Pink was fading rapidly into purple. "You," Cheesecake sputtered. "How dare you! I stayed up all night with Bones and Dusty in the Jackelop. I sank into sleep. I'm trying my best, and I don't understand why you or your friend are suddenly determined to make me out some kind of villain." "No," said Lyra. "You're right. Listen. The truth is that the Jackelop spoke to us. Well, not spoke exactly. He called to us in a dream and told us to take him out of the infirmary into a place in the desert. That's what he really needs. So if you're telling the truth about caring for him, please, let us take him there." Cheesecake stared at her in a moment, and then burst out laughing. "Are you for real? You want me to let you take a sick animal out, murder the nose well, in the desert because of a dream? That's ridiculous!" Says the pony to the magic-using unicorn that can create song spells. "Okay, I know how it sounds," Lyra began. "But we all had the same dream around the same time, and—" Cheesecake raised her hoof. "Spare me," she said. "Look, I don't know what's up with you and your friend, but if that's the attitude you're going to take, fine. Don't expect to get anywhere near the Jackelop anytime soon. But rest assured, we'll take good care of him. Enjoy the festival." She turned and stormed off, back the way she came. At once, Lyra ran to final scratch by the commissary tailor. "You're sure you know this place the Jackelop wants to go to?" she asked quietly. Final nodded. "Yeah, it's way down at the bottom of the valley. Maybe 7-8 hours walk. If we stick to the plan, we're back by noon tomorrow. Missed my first shift, but you and Thunder will make your acts." Lyra nodded back. "Well, okay. Well, then I guess there's nothing to do but wait for nightfall." Nightfall. Another bonfire crackled merrily in the open space by the commissary tailor, and the cooking staff were busy dishing out plates on the grilled corn on the cob, baked beans, and fire-roasted veggies to the crowd of musicians, performers, and attendees, all eagerly awaiting the morning and festival's true beginning. In the shadows behind Lyra and Raindrop's trailer, 3 dark figures gathered, clad hoof to mane and muscle to tail, in form-fitting black suits. "We're all here?" whispered Lyra. "Almost," said Raindrops. "Thunderaxe was right behind me." "Here I am," said Thunderaxe, earning a shh from the others 3 as she dropped out of the sky in the middle of the group. "Hi, these outfits." "Where's your stealth suit?" demanded Final. "Why, what? You mean those things you're wearing?" "I don't have one." "Don't have a... Who doesn't have a stealth suit?" asked Lyra. "Come on, guys," said Raindrops. "She's out for Ponyville, remember?" There was a 2 chorus of "Oh yes" from Lyra and Final. Thunderaxe blinked in confusion. "Right. Are you saying that every pony from Ponyville at all times—" "Nah, said Vile. Not Foles, obviously, or in the shower. Or on Hudson Who's Day, added Raindrops. Vile looked at her curiously. You don't carry a stealth suit on Hudson Who's Day? But what if you need to be stealthy? Well, Raindrops started. You don't need the suit because... Ladies! Larry interrupted, sternly as possible without being quiet. We have a job to do. You have the, getaway vehicle ready, Vital? Yeah, I do, Vital Scratch said. I'll be out from the infirmary in 7 minutes. Lyra nodded. The two unicorns both had perfect rhythm and knew at least one instrument's part in Xylophone's 7 Minutes of Heaven, Christophone Concerto. They both could play in their heads times 7 minutes precisely. Alright, start timing now. She turned to Thunder Axe. I guess not having a stealth suit will make you a better distraction. You ready? Thunder Axe patted the guitar slung on her back. I was born ready. Great, said Lyra. Give us time to get in position before you set it off. Gotcha, said Thunder. She lifted off and flew in the general direction of the infirmary. Raindrops, let's go! Right, said Raindrops. The two trotted to the infirmary, while Lyra went out over the plan in her mind. It was very simple. Lyra had seen that the Jackelop was in a bed on the east side of the infirmary, curtained off, and Vile had noticed a window on the west side of the trailer that was kept open, probably for what little in the way of the breeze the valley got. The window remained small for Pegasus to squeeze through, what with his shoulder muscles and wings, but Lyra was small enough that she could fit. Unfortunately, she wasn't confident in her ability to lift herself and go through it, at least not without taking a while and making a racket. So, while Thunder Axe created a distraction, Raindrops flooded onto the roof on the trailer and held Lyra through the window. Then, Lyra opened the front door, let Raindrops in, and the two of them would sneak in and snatch the Jackelop while the Doctor, Dusty, and Cheesecake were distracted. Then Vile would meet them out in front of a cart, and off into the desert they go. Just as Lyra and Raindrops reached the infirmary, there was a screech of guitar music, and a sudden explosion of lightning arced up from the ground about 50 feet past the far side of the trailer. It curved over in midair, splashing back down and sparking harmlessly over the tops of several trailers. Another arc followed, and then another. Guess there's our distraction, said Lyra. Yeah, said Raindrops, staring at starry-eyed. Sweet! Yes, it's great. Now come on, whispered Lyra urgently. We have to move. We can't know how long to allocate Cheesecake and them at the east window. Raindrops nodded and sprang for the roof of the trailer. The sound of her hose on Mel's surface masked by the power cords and electric sizzles of Thunder's display. She lay down on the roof and extended her forehose to Lyra, who jumped up and grabbed them, almost effortlessly. Raindrops swung her and tossed her into the open window. Gracefully, Lyra uncurled and landed in the trailer. That's when everything went wrong. Said Dusty, turning to face her. Did you just... through the window? Lyra thought quickly. No, she hazarded. Not quickly enough, I guess. She cursed herself for not thinking it through. Of course he wouldn't stay at the window watching the show. Of course Cheesecake would send Dusty to check it out. And of course that would mean she would run right into him. So, to judge by your outfit, you're trying to sneak in and kidnap the Jackelop. And you're from Ponyville. Darn it, Rarity, you became too famous! Well, Lyra said, still thinking quickly and trying to get to the edge of the door. It was difficult with Dusty standing right in front of it. I guess I am from Ponyville, but I lived in Canterlot for a while, too. Sawbones stuck his head out through the curtain, a syringe in his mouth. What's your record about... Wait, who are you? He stood in the main area of the trailer, Cheesecake right behind him. Lindal's friend, I did warn you. Dusty, take it to security. Yes, ma'am! This was bad. Very bad. Lyra could see a solution, though she was going to get in a lot of trouble for it. Still, what choice did she have? No choice at all. She'll forgive me. Probably. Eventually. Taking a deep breath, before Dusty reached her, she let out a blood-curdling scream and used her magic to fling the door open. Hearing Lyra's scream, Raindrops rushed down into the door as swiftly as she could. Quickly, she took in Rusty standing menacingly near Lyra, and Sawbones standing by with a syringe in his mouth, and drew the logical conclusion. Lyra! She cried, and busted Dusty, knocking him to the floor with a blow of her hoof. She whirled to face Cheesecake and Sawbones, and pat them slightly as she and Pegasus stalked towards them. Taking advantage of the distraction, Lyra raps past him, through the curtains. Seeing the Jackelop, she levitated along with his blanket, and then turned to race out the trailer. "Raindrops, come on!" she shouted, and then Vinyl was there with a cart. Several pillows in the bottom, making a nest where Lyra gently deposited the Jackelop. The two unicorns galloped towards the edge of the festival ground, raindrops falling above them, shortly joined by Thunderaxe. "Woo!" cried the daughter of Discord as they crossed the desert. "We did it!" Lyra and Vinyl collapsed to the ground, while the Pegasi landed next to them. 5-minute break, then we continue on. Cheesecake knows we're taking the Jackalop to the desert. Won't be long before she sends someone after us. Wait, how does he know that? Briefly, Lyra explained. "You did what?" asked Raindrops. Chapter 7. Desert of Destruction. Raindrops shivered as the 4 ponies trudged through the desert, dragging them through the cart with the Jackalop. Despite the incredible, impressive heat of the day, it was freezing cold now, but Raindrops didn't mind much. She grew up in a cloud city thousands of feet above the ground. She knew cold like an eccentric, not particularly beloved, but still familiar aunt. Besides, she couldn't feel the itching through the cold, so that was a relief. She and Thunderaxe pulled the cart, while Vinyl and Lyra held levitated out over toppings of rock and down cliffs. "You sure you know where we're going?" Raindrops asked Vinyl. "Yeah," said Vinyl patiently. "Just like the last time you asked. We just had to head down." "Easier said than done," grumbled Lyra. She had a point. The slopes leading down to the ancient dry lake bed were a tangled maze of crisscrossing canyons, blind alleys, and dead ends. It was the third dead end that Lyra's paces finally snapped. "This is ridiculous! How are we supposed to get anywhere in this stupid maze? I thought you knew how to get to whatever this place is!" "We're in the desert," said Vinyl. "And look, I've been there once. As long as we keep going down, we'll get there eventually. If we keep doubling back, Cheesecake's goons will find us." Lyra grimaced. "Calm down, you two," said Thunderaxe. "Let's just relax. Maybe we need to take a rest a minute before we continue on. Most of the strength to calm everybody down." "That's weird," thought Raindrops. "All the interviews I read said Thunderaxe is the hardest working of the Daughters of Discord. She would never be the first to call for a break. Unless something strange is going on, or she isn't really Thunderaxe." She eyed the other Pegasus suspiciously. But she looked like Thunderaxe, and it wasn't like iron horseshoes were common among Pegasi. Still, Raindrops knew she would have to keep an eye on her just to be sure. In the cart, the Jackalop twitched and made high-pitched muttering sounds. Thunderaxe looked over it. "Poor little guy," she said. "I think she must be dreaming." "Lucky him," grumbled Lyra, but no one paid her any attention. "We've rested enough," said Vinyl. "Come on, let's get moving before they find us." "And now Vinyl's tense and determined? No, this is all wrong. I don't know who these ponies are. I'm the only one who's acting normal." The 4 ponies walked back out of the canyon they'd rested in, and tried another path that seemed to go down. This one actually worked for a while, twisting and crossing several others, but generally heading downward, until abruptly they turned a corner and found themselves facing another dead end. "Sunshine!" shouted Lyra, while the others looked inside, shocked. The word echoed through the rocks, bouncing forth and overlapping themselves, the sound of it distorting. "Sunshine! Sunshine! Sunshine!" murmured the desert's echoes, mocking them. Raindrops shivered, not from the cold. She could feel it now, something vast and ancient, alien and powerful, lurking just out of the corner of her eye, where she couldn't see it. "Well," said a masculine voice from behind them, "fancy meeting you here." They whirled to see Dusty Clift, flanked by 2 rather burly Earth Pony stallions in black vests and festival security. "I reckon that's about enough chasing through the desert for one night, don't you?" he asked. "Up!" shouted Vinyl. Thunderaxe and Raindrops grabbed each of one of the unicorns. The 2 of them combined their magic to lift the Jackalop. In a matter of moments they were up and over the cliff wall. All 4 collapsed, panting on the other side, and yet another canyon slightly lower down. From above they heard a shout. "Thought so," shouted Raindrops. "They got lookouts on top of the valley. They'll be able to spot us if we fly." She looked out over the desert. The sky to the east was beginning to turn gray. The sun would be up soon. As soon as that happened, this trip would become much, much more difficult. Raindrops, can you carry the Jackelop? Thunderaxe asked. Raindrops nodded. For a while, at least. Time and place, though. I don't want to drop him. Lyra and Vinyl floated the Jackelop over the raindrops. But as soon as his horn touched her flank, she flinched away. What's wrong? Asked Thunderaxe. The horns, said Raindrops. They tickle. The other 3 ponies stepped in to surround Raindrops. They're vibrating, said Thunderaxe. If you listen closer, you can hear the hum. There's a bit of magic coming off them, too, said Lyra. She bent down low. You know, there's the same sort of iridescent gray as a Christophone. Maybe they're responding to our emotions the way a Christophone does. What? You mean amplifying them? Playing them back? Said Thunderaxe. Okay, that's interesting, but we gotta keep moving, Final reminded him. Dusty knows where we are, remember? Lyra looked like she was about to snap at Vinyl, but she visibly bit back whatever she was going to say. They finished tying the Jackelop to Raindrops, careful to keep the horns pointing up so they didn't touch Raindrops. Then they continued on as the sun slowly rose over the valley. They took another break at Thunderaxe's insistence about an hour later, just long enough to sit for a moment in the shade of an outcropping and sip some water. And it was up and on once more. The Jackelop was starting to feel heavier and heavier, but Raindrops didn't let it show. She didn't trust the others, not when they were acting so strangely. As they got closer to the lake bed, the maze of paths grew less complicated, and they began to pick up speed. After half an hour, as they passed another patch of shade, Thunderaxe said, We should stop again. Yeah, seriously? Vinyl Scratch turned to face her. Do we really need to stop again with a bunch of big stallions after us? Yes, said Thunderaxe. We're almost to the lake bed, and there will be no cover at all there. Which is why we need as much of a lead as possible when we get there! Thunderaxe shook her head. No, that's why we need to be completely hydrated and ready to move fast when we get to wherever you're taking us. Oh, I don't care! Hissed Lyra. Stop! Don't stop! Whatever! Will you two quit flirting? Thunderaxe blushed. I'm not. Oh, we're not. She turned to Vinyl Scratch. I mean, not that you're not cute. You are. I mean, really cute. And wait, why am I? She blushed harder, and at the same time began to look worried. I like stallions. Why am I? Ha! Shouted Dusty, as he and the 2 security ponies leaped over the ridge and down among the 4 mares. Thunderaxe whinnied in surprise, and danced nervously in place, while the other 3 ponies fell back onto their rumps. Ugh! Shouted Lyra. Why don't you leave us? A large boulder pulled itself out of the ground, surrounding the pale green gull. Alone! The boulder flew with tremendous speed directly at Dusty, while Raindrops watched in helpless horror. Lyra! Shouted Thunderaxe as she clapped her wings together. Towards the boulder. There was a flash of light and a crack of thunder and a smell of ozone, and the boulder exploded, showering down the 3 stallions in a hail of paintballs. They yelped and ran back up the ridge, covered in bruises and scrapes. But what are you thinking? Thunderaxe demanded. You could have killed some pony! Lyra shrank back in horror. I didn't mean... She looked on the first of tears. I just got so angry. Angrier than I've ever been. What's happening? This isn't like me. Vinyl, Raindrops, you know this isn't like me. No, said Raindrops. It isn't. It isn't like Thunderaxe to be stopping for rest, no matter how sensible it might be. It isn't like her to be attracted to Vinyl either. It isn't like Vinyl to be constantly pushing us to go faster. All 3 of you are acting strangely. Don't you get it? They're doing something to us. They? Asked Thunderaxe. Who's they? I don't know, Raindrops admitted, but I'm going to find out. Yeah, I don't think we're the only ones acting different from usual, said Lyra. Normally, you'd be threatening whoever they are, not investigating. You're right. But instead you have my temper. Thunderaxe is keeping us together and organized and safe, like the element of loyalty should. Oh, said Lyra, starting to get it. And she's attracted to Vinyl. Lyra blushed. Well, you really are cute, she admitted. And don't you tell Bonbon I said that, or else I'll... She stopped mid-sentence and shook her head. Raindrops watched her friend. So this is what I look like from the outside. Nothing but a thug who can barely keep it from attacking her friends. Has to be violently prevented from attacking her enemies. But what's causing it? Asked Thunder Axe. What's blending all our personalities together like this? Oh, Raindrops thought. She tapped her hoof on her back. Isn't it obvious when you put it that way? Mister, mix things that don't belong together? Lara groaned. We're trying to help you, you stupid jackalope! Everett snored. Response, it snored. It stirred fitfully in his sleep. I know, said Thunder Axe. He's tired and sick. He's probably not doing it on purpose. He's losing control of his magic in his dreams. He does feel very hot, said Raindrops, and not just from the heat. Okay, said Thunder Axe. Everybody's wake up and then we move. Hopefully Cheesecake's stallions will spend more time licking their wounds and will be able to beat them to the heart. For once, no pony argued. Just drank quietly along with their thoughts. I think I get it, Raindrops said after a while. What? Why us? It's the blending thing. You're a Pegasus with iron in your hooves. That's not supposed to go together. Lyra spent some time as an omnivore a while back. That's another thing that doesn't belong in a pony. Who? Said Thunder Axe. Not my fault, Lyra protested. It was all Trixie's fault. She bit back her response again. Sorry, having trouble with that temper? Yeah, said Raindrops. That's me. The temper of a griffin and the strength of an earth pony and a Pegasus. Things that don't belong together. The only one I'm having trouble with you is you, Final. What do you blend? I think I see it. Final's special talent isn't playing an instrument. It's air manipulation. That's a Pegasus talent in a unicorn. Yeah, said Final. That makes sense. That must be it, she chuckled. So, what does it mean? Said Thunder Axe. What does the Jackelop need us to do? Only one way to find out, said Final. She was right. So they set out again, scrabbling over the last slopes to reach the broad, flat expanse of cracked earth that was the lake bed. This way, said Final, towards the center! She began to trot, and the others followed. As they neared something, Raindrops felt it looming ahead of them. The itch, which had been steadily returning ever since the sun came up, flared suddenly, and spread vicious tingles dancing along her back and sides. A headache exploded between her eyes before narrowing to a razor-sharp point. She could feel it. Something enormous and enormously powerful under the earth, but also spiking upward into the cloudless sky. The heart of the desert, said Violet proudly. Raindrops felt something shift. And suddenly, the vast web of shivering connections she had slowly, over the past few hours, discovered collapse, and a familiar surge of irritation swept through her. On her back, the Jackelop stirred. Then it cried. It started like a cross between a whimper, a meow, and a mystical note. But it built slowly, swelling, getting sweeter and sadder until it sang out in a shimmering wail over the desert. The Jackelop was awake. It was at the heart of the desert. It was time. As it neared the heart of worlds. Ow! What does Trixie have to remind you about shameless self-promotion? Sorry. Now what? Said Thunder Axe.